Welcome, GMB pros. Welcome, everyone that's here on the call with us. Those that are catching the replay, those that are on live on Facebook, welcome, everyone. Just want to remind everyone, William and I's goal for GMB pros is twofold, right? One is to help you grow your agency. And number two is help you get better results for your clients. And we do that. We aim to do that by inviting guests. We invite friends, family, just like Elaine. We have Lane today. Kind of give us over the shoulder examples how he's done it, what he's involved, and how we can accomplish that. For those of you that don't know Lane, man, he's a GMB Pros GO. OG, I should say, OG. Back in the day, that's kind of where I first met Lane. Was back in the day when William was doing it every week. I'm not sure if he still does them, but with what is it? Signal Genesis. He has a weekly call there. He has the podcast, guys. If make sure we go out and support him. And I really appreciated Lane because as long as he's been in the game, how many years you been in the marketing business?
Just shy of 15.
15 years, guys. And he's one of his gifts that I really, really admired is taking somebody that's brand new, because Lane has probably heard the same question 15 times, but he has a way of kind of bringing that person in and say, hey, I get it. I've been there, and answering with such grace, answering like if it was his first time getting asked that. So I really appreciate Lane for that. Like I mentioned, he has a YouTube channel, guys. He has a podcast. Don't miss it, guys. Gold stuff that you can pick up, stuff that's practical. Lane has run his agency, Signal Genesis. And man, Lane, if you can kind of tell us a little bit where you've been, where you're at now, and what kind of your future holds.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks a lot for having me, Alfredo, and appreciate William and you both inviting me to just come on and share with you guys what I've been doing, what's going on, some updates. As some of you know, some of you may not know, I am the co-founder of Signal Genesis. Dating back to now 2010, I started my agency back in 2010. Back then, it was just like a website and SEO agency. And then like in 2012, Google launched Google Places, and it's the whole like the whole local SEO world just started to explode. All of the different review sites, kind of exploded in the next couple of years. And so a lot changed between 2010 and 2015 in terms of SEO. Like the whole SEO game just changed. Like it went, local became a thing. The whole local ecosystem blew up, reviews blew up, directory listings blew up. And so SEO became a lot more complicated. You had to take a little bit more of a holistic approach than it was a lot more than just kind of like a website and some links. And so we got to work solving really my main problem, which was scaling SEO. SEO has a lot of moving parts. We all know that. Probably if you've been in this game even just a short amount of time, hey, SEO's got a lot of moving parts. It involves humans. It now involves AI. There's all sorts of different signal categories that we know the algorithm is looking for. We've got to generate signals in multiple categories on a regular basis in order to really move the needle and drive results. And that was really the reality back in 2015. And so that's why we got to work kind of taking my intellectual property and knowledge around SEO, my business partner's knowledge and intellectual property around SEO, and we developed Signal Genesis. That is what it is today. We launched that initially in beta in late 2018 to a handful of agencies. And we launched Signal Genesis really to help do two things. Number one, solve a lot of the manual processes that were involved in having to do manual link building, manual citation building, manual syndication to try and drive more authority links. And then also to implement a much higher level of signal generation technology than what the SEO world had ever seen prior. So when we launched that late 2018, 2019 was a great year. We got results very quickly for those users that started using our platform. We built the platform for the agency industry, for the digital marketing agency industry. So we had our own, we solved our own problem in our own agency and decided, well, let's just solve other agencies' problems as well. And so we had the mindset of an agency in mind. So it's white label, it's invisible. And let's see here. Alongside of that launch, I took my generalist agency, and in 2019, I transitioned it from a generalist agency into the white label niche so that I could unify my focus daily, weekly, monthly, all day, all the time on helping agencies. I didn't want to split time between having a legacy agency that focused on helping direct businesses and then have Signal Genesis that was really more aimed at helping agencies leverage an SEO tool to get better results at scale. And so for the last, going on now 5 years, I've, operated our white label agency. So we do fulfillment in website development, SEO, and PPC, primarily. Content's a subset of that. For agencies that just want to scale their sales and their marketing efforts and don't want to have to deal with all the minutia of fulfillment and operations. For those agencies that want to kind of do their own thing and have their own SEO team and get into the minutia, we have over 1,000 agencies today that use Signal Genesis for that purpose, along with some very, very large white label agencies that also use Signal Genesis at scale to drive SEO results for large 8 and 9 figure white label agencies. So our tool is being leveraged today by the industry to move the needle. I do have the Marketing Center of Excellence, which I just dropped the link in here in chat. That's kind of my podcast and educational platform. It's my way of just trying to give back to the industry, answer questions, provide value, interview industry subject matter experts and influencers, and provide my own 2 cents in the mix as well. And so I have both podcast interviews and master classes through the Marketing Center of Excellence. And any of you all listening today are welcome to go there and follow us on YouTube, follow us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you'd like. Constantly dropping, new content. And I guess at this point I'll transition because my guest tomorrow on the Marketing Center of Excellence podcast is the founder and CEO of Search Atlas, Monik Bond. So Monik and I have become friends over the last year. I met him back in Miami about a year ago. He was interested in Signal Genesis. I found out about Search Atlas and was like, oh, well, tell me more. It sounds like a cool platform. Let's. So we've gotten to know each other over the last year. And Monik approached me maybe 6 months ago and asked, hey, could we do an integration of Signal Genesis into Search Atlas because of its synergistic fit into what Search Atlas is doing? And I was like, sure, and so at that point I was like, hey, tell me more. What do you got going on over at Search Atlas? And so I've gotten to know the platform, quite intimately over the last 6 months. And I'd say it definitely was in April, if it wasn't probably February or March, probably was March. We started to integrate our white label agency into Search Atlas and off of SEMrush and Ahrefs, and also off of our proxies and proxy servers and the proxy software. All said and done, I think I eliminated about $3,000 in monthly software subscriptions between Ahrefs, SEMrush, Proxidize, proxy servers, proxy software, and multi-login software. If it wasn't 3,000, it was 2,500 for sure. And we went into a white label environment inside Search Atlas. Can I share my screen, Alfredo?
Yeah, yep.
All right, so I'll just quickly show you guys and just kind of walk you through our account. It's I'm not going to show everything because I've got, we obviously have some client campaigns in here, but you can basically come in here and you can do AI content. It's got an entire, that's the other piece of software. I knew I was forgetting one. We eliminated on-page AI. I was using on-page AI for keyword, NLP, entity, competitive research, and then baking that data and research into new content, leveraging AI. Search Atlas does all of that and then some as well. So they have all that same data. They have direct access in streaming from Google data, NLP data, entity data, keyword data, competitive data, what's actually ranking on page one, all that data. All of that data is then, holistically consumed and then leveraged with AI to generate superior SEO content. You can come in here and do much like Ahrefs with the Site Explorer. If you're familiar with Ahrefs, you'll be familiar with that. You can come in here and enter a domain and get DA, DR, backlinks, all of that. You can get keyword research done in here, keyword gap research, keyword rank tracking. You can do full-on website audits in here by just dropping in a domain. And then you can connect Google Search Console to all of any campaigns that you're going to actually kind of run in here. So not only is this a research tool, right? Like I use Ahrefs and SEMrush to do research on keywords, on competitors, on content that was ranking, on other websites, on backlinks. All of that research I can do, but then I can also now start to actually fulfill on SEO inside Search Atlas from an operational and delivery standpoint. If I want to have the team. Now, again, this still requires human beings to be involved, to know what they're doing. AI is not going to take over the world and take over SEO completely. You still need human beings who can think, who can apply strategy, who can obviously apply the moving target that the Google algorithms always are. So there's always going to be human beings involved here. I would say that the level of human beings is both going to increase and decrease. So there's going to be a kind of a dichotomy here in terms of how AI is actually leveraged inside of SEO campaigns and delivery. I think I'll show you Otto here in a second. Otto takes over a website and actually begins to apply website deficiencies and fixes automatically at the page level. It rewrites it at the page level with pixel installation. So it's very, very powerful. And so you can actually take what humans used to have to do and now have one human being driving that with pixel installation monitoring. But so I can have a very, very basic, non-technical, task-driven team member on my team be installing pixels and setting up, things in Search Atlas. However, that's where the low-end technical or non-technical labor ends. And now you're going to need to apply high-end, high level of thinking, understanding SEO, strategist who can then really manage all of that along with some team members to actually then really leverage this. So yes, we can do more with less, leveraging with Otto. However, it's going to require somebody who knows what they're doing, not just somebody who's going to hit buttons and then think that that's just going to solve all SEO problems. That's not going to be reality here. What we've done inside of our white label agency here is we've actually just today, I've been thinking about how we're going to do this, and ultimately we are just going to offer Otto AI-driven dynamic on-page SEO for an extra $75 a month. If you, as an agency today, if you go to Search Atlas directly to deploy, it's $99 per month for Otto to be deployed on a website. So, we're doing it because of our scale and our bulk volume. We're doing it cheaper directly as a white label provider than agencies can go and get on their own directly through Search Atlas. So there's going to be an advantage from a pricing standpoint there. But other than that, it's going to be the same exact tool that other agencies might be leveraging directly. However, like I said, it's still going to have human beings who are driving this, who are setting this up, who are monitoring it, who are producing and QAing the content every month, and then feeding that content into a strategy that actually helps generate signals off page, because this is handling, on page technical as well, or right now. So we can come in here with wrong button. We can come in here and we can set up the entire account on our own agency white label domain. Because we are a white label agency, so we actually kind of gray label everything. So everything here is just called Business SEO Center. You can see it's on SEO.businesscenter.app, so that when we generate reports for our agency partners and they're going to go ahead and deliver that report URL directly to their client, the URL isn't branded to Quantum Agency. It's just, on SEO businesscenter.app. And so you can choose whatever domain you want in order to put if you have your own Search Atlas account, in terms of where you put that, that account, and then, how you brand it and all that. You also can directly actually sell the entire platform, and access to the platform directly under your white label account, which is also pretty cool. You will be billed directly when somebody signs up for a starter plan or a growth plan or a pro plan on your own SEO or white label account. So you have to have billing set up with those same people to make sure that you're billing them, because you'll be billed by Search Atlas for that. But that gives you another option of deployment if you wanted to take Search Atlas, say, into your niche, and you wanted to give everyone their own Search Atlas account. That might be a way you deploy it. Again, you're going to have somebody managing all of that, answering questions again. And this gets into the same thing when people want to say, I'm now a SaaS company. I hear this all the time with GHL agencies. They say, I'm running the GHL SaaS company. And I'm like, well, you're really not. Let's be clear. You are, but you're not. But the hang up and the real issue is not who's the underlying provider there, because yes, you can mask that with white label, and that's the whole purpose of white label. Where you really get into the issues are in support and in questions and answers, and if there's bugs, how do you answer those questions when there's a bug and it's really not your software? And so you definitely got to think through that and make sure you have the staff, the support staff that are going to handle it. As a software company owner, support is our number one biggest pain in the ass, right? It's just always, because support is almost always problems. It's almost always related to bugs or questions or issues or something, right? And so it's not the most fun department, but it's the biggest department. It's the biggest need, and that's where I can also tell you Search Atlas has really excelled. Their support staff is phenomenal. You can actually jump into a real-time support room during, I think, Eastern Standard Time hours daily. And then they also respond to support tickets very quickly. They're also very receptive, much like we are, to user input and user ideas. Much of the platform has come from user ideas. Monik just said that earlier today on a Search Atlas webinar. And so it's built for the agency industry, just like we have built Signal Genesis for the agency industry. It's kind of, as you can see, obviously Agency Hub. I don't think I need to speak anymore. SEMrush doesn't have Agency Hub in terms of allowing you to be able to white label the entire platform, resell the platform. Obviously, Otto is a huge departure in terms of separating Search Atlas from all the other types of other, research platforms out there that you might use keyword research or NLP entity research, content assistant, things like that. That's just a quick overview, kind of how we are implementing Search Atlas into our white label agency, using it to deliver SEO as a white label partner. And then just, it can obviously be implemented into a niche agency that's B2B as well. It's obviously can also be used for lead capture and prospecting. We provide all of our white label partners basically using this free lead capture widget that Search Atlas gives you. We just take this widget right here, and it's embedded here. And you can drop a domain here, and it takes them through a quick wizard. It does a quick site analysis. And then at the end of the site analysis, asks for first name, last name, email address, and phone number, captures the lead, and then it gives them the report. And then it emails you as the agency saying, hey, somebody just signed up for the site widget or whatever, something like that. So you can see I've already, Now, these aren't really leads for me per se, because I'm giving this to our agencies that are partners for us with our white label and saying, hey, if you want to run a quick site audit or site analysis on a prospect, go ahead and use our account here. It's using our credits for that. And so we use it as kind of as a value add for our white label partners. But obviously, again, as an agency, if you were implementing this yourself, you could take the same widget, put it on your site, and offer it to prospects in your industry or niche. And so another way that you can use Search Atlas, last thing I'll say, and then we can just kind of open up for questions, Alfredo, is they also have the ability to come in here and order links. Search Atlas was born out of Link Graph, which is the preceding company. Link Graph was really a big link building at scale type of agency. And so they've married a lot of that ability to build links at scale into the Search Atlas platform and allowing agencies to come in and order links. As anyone knows, links aren't always cheap. And so we do use this to order links at times when we need to for our client campaigns and white label. We don't use it a lot. We don't typically find that we need to a lot, but there are definitely times and scenarios where we just need more links, and so when that's a need, you can come in here and do that right inside your Search Atlas account as well. And so anyway, I was talking with Alfredo and William the other day about Search Atlas and a little bit about how we were utilizing it. I know Alfredo's been in the beta test group for Otto as well, so I've seen him there, and we've been kind of back and forth. And so I say, hey, I'm happy to come on and just share how we're using it, especially kind of in a unique application as a white label partner, and letting our white label partners kind of leverage off of our account, our volume discounts and all that, and while still providing the human capital that's still required to perform digital marketing and SEO, in any kind of, and then report on it and all that stuff. So that's just a quick overview of how Lane and the Quantum Agency team are implementing Search Atlas, and then, a little bit of a sneak preview into how, Signal Genesis and Search Atlas are going to be married here. I was just talking with Monica earlier here, and Signal Genesis digital PR with Otto SEO automation will be in alpha this week. So the integration is basically done. We're just kind of now ironing out how to marry that into an Otto SEO automation campaign so that you can actually have and I was actually working with the engineers on Monic's team last week around the PR outputs. And so how to actually have their AI content assistant create a phenomenal kick-ass PR that's optimized with H2 and H3 headings and has keyword and NLP and entity data baked into it. And so we were working on all that last week. And so coming soon, you'll have out of alpha and then beta testing, you'll be able to actually automate off-page signal generation and content amplification using the Signal Genesis platform directly inside Search Atlas using the digital PR function. So that's one of the things that's coming, and it's coming really, really soon, as we've been working kind of on finalizing those pieces of the two software platforms being married together.
That is pretty awesome, guys. Now, Lane, if we can kind of roll back a little bit for that, everybody on here is different journeys, right?
Yep.
So like for those that are just starting, if we take that guy, if you can think back, would having Otto Search Atlas be a benefit as far as leveraging?
Yes, although I still would maintain that for those starting out, they should still white label with a white label partner, so that you can focus exclusively on sales and marketing and growing top line revenue. That's the lifeblood of any company, and fulfillment will suck you in and suck you dry and suck you right out of your sales and your marketing. And that's what I see happen over and over and over again. And so certainly there's a certain point in time where I'd say, hey, if you want to consider that and you want to start to marry in team members and managing more people and all of that, then fine, do it. But I wouldn't do it until I was making it, until I was at least at 50K recurring revenue a month gross. I wouldn't even consider anything unless I was at least there, especially starting out as an agency. Some people are maybe at 10 or 20K a month, but they've been in the game for 3, 5, 6, 7, 10 years, whatever it might be. And if you're finding yourself still at 10, 20, 30, 40, even 50K a month in recurring revenue, and you're into this for many, many years now, I would guess in a very educated way, based on just my talks with thousands and thousands of agencies over the years, is that if that's where you're at still and you've already been in this game for many years, it's because you've been sucked into fulfillment, and you are not able to, because no one really can balance continuing that forward momentum of prospecting, marketing, sales, closing, and putting people into new clients into the pipeline, versus then going over and fulfilling and managing people and making sure shit's getting done and reporting and answering questions. And if you're doing both, that's why you're still at 20K a month or whatever it might be. You will plateau at some point on your agency journey if you don't figure out how to like hire and delegate and do that on a pretty economical level, because it's pretty competitive out there in pricing, and AI is only going to make that worse. AI is going to pinch agencies and the profit margins even more. And so you got to be able to run a really profitable, efficient ship in fulfillment and operations and delivery while maintaining sales and marketing momentum. And so that's where a lot of agencies, I think, just get stuck on their agency growth journey. And that's why I would say, no, white label with somebody, figure out how to just nail your sales and marketing and closing until you're at well over 50K a month in recurring revenue. And you feel like, all right, this is just really kind of on autopilot now for me. I figured this out. We know how to kind of close new clients weekly on demand. And when you find yourself there, then you go, all right, do I want to start to hire in, and create some more profit, by hiring my own staff and all that? Or do I want to just kind of have that lifestyle agency? We have agency partners on our side that just go, fuck that. I want a lifestyle agency. I'll sell. I can sell from the beach. I can sell from anywhere in the world. I don't want to have to deal with hiring, training, firing, payroll, and all the other things that come with fulfillment and operations and delivery that suck you in. And so, that's just my 2 cents based on, my 15 years of having been in the trenches. I spent, a good 9 years really building our generalist agency in these trenches, figuring all this out slowly, while I also saw other people take their agency, their agency revenue, and go well past me faster because they weren't bogged down with, sorry, I got a bug flying around here. They weren't bogged down with, fulfillment and operations. So
absolutely. So we all know that results are also key, right? So you get to that 50K, and usually you don't get to 50K if you don't have your process or results down. With the with what you have in there, the websites and Otto, how effective has those results have been? Like needle moving.
We're seeing quick lift. The results are variable depending on all the other variables that are included in the campaign. But there's no doubt that the ability to quickly address SEO website deficiencies, instead of it taking months or potentially a whole year, I can maybe now do it in minutes to a day. I don't necessarily want to report on all that right away to the client. Like that's kind of one of my I'm working on with Monica is, hey, even though Otto could maybe correct 3,000 deficiencies on a website in 15 minutes, because it can. I've seen it happen. I have to be able to go back and QA all that just to make sure, especially in some industries. Like if you're doing it for an attorney, it might be different than if you're doing it for a plumber. Mm-hmm. The consequences of deploying AI to an attorney's website versus a plumber's website are definitely different. Like there's just different consequences there. And so that has to be thought through. And then how do we go back and actually check those pages and make sure that the page title, the page description, whatever was rewritten and not re-optimized by the AI was actually accurate. And so that's where, I think it'll take us time to really kind of figure that out. I'm okay with deploying all and going, hey, let's fix them all and let the AI go. And then if we have to kind of refactor things later, fine. Because what we're seeing is we're still seeing good lift based on the the fixes that were applied by the AI bot.
Yeah, 100%. Would you say that the stuff that Otto does take care of, best practices?
I say that again, Alfredo. Ask the question again. I'm sorry.
So what it executes, what it corrects, what it seeks to do is
Yes,
best
100%.
practices, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
title tags, meta description,
For sure.
on-page technical stuff, 100%.
Yeah. And I've watched it literally rewrite, a page title and a page description in a better way. Like it was, I mean, let's face it. I mean, so I'll kind of get into the weeds here a little bit and go into how, we've even fulfilled in the white label side. Years ago, you didn't really need a website to get local SEO rankings. Like, I mean, I know we all remember the day when your Google business site was all you needed, and your business site would rank and your GBP listing would rank in organic and local maps. Well, obviously now the GBP business site has been, that they've jettisoned that's been taken away. That's no longer a feature. So, and that wasn't like a mistake. Like Google realized that there were businesses that were doing well in local rankings, even though they didn't even have a website. And so over the last 24 months at a minimum, probably 36, but especially since the helpful content system initially rolled out in August of 22, Google's focus on the website has doubled down. Like they've doubled down. So there's all these data points now that Google's looking at the website for that they previously really didn't care about, especially when it came to maps SEO, like local SEO, local rankings. Today, those website technicals are immensely important in overall map rankings too. And so to the point of Otto, yes, the ability to fix these technical deficiencies that at one point, like, okay, so I know I'm kind of circling back here. So, 2 years ago in our white label fulfillment, we didn't even have to really pay attention to the website. We could do, blog article, digital PR, signal generation, some CTR, and boom, that was enough, right? Today, it's not enough. And so last year in our fulfillment, I had to change our strategy, which is again why you need somebody who's thinking here, right? It has to be able to adjust with how the algorithm is changing. I was like, okay, there's too much attention being paid to the website. We have to, in order to keep the rankings going, we have to pay attention to the website, or at least offer our agencies and the clients an option to pay attention to the website. And so early last year, along with leveraging AI in our content strategy, we also rolled out the optional add-on for technical and on-page SEO labor. And so last year, prior to Otto, we were offering just 5 or 10 hours a month. And one of our team members in technical SEO would go in and apply fixes to the website with 2 hours a month or 5 hours a month, whatever the agency and client wanted. Excuse me. And that was because it was like needed. And I was telling our agencies, like, hey, you've got to like include this in your packages, because technical SEO, on-page SEO is important. And if the client's not going to budget for it, you're not going to include it in your package, then understand, like, we're handicapped. Like, this is a real issue. You have to pay attention to the website. So this goes back to last year. So that's been an option now in our white label SEO campaign options for, over a year. So as of today, I added in Otto as a fourth option for our white label agency partners. So if we want to just address all the technical SEO, on-page SEO deficiencies, kind of all at once, all in month one, then we can do it. If we want to roll it out, category by category over the first 6 months or first 12 months, we can do that. It's just going to be a $75 per month, charge. And again, if you go to Search Atlas directly, it's going to charge you. It's going to cost you, $99 per month per campaign. So, we're giving our white label partners a discount there, and just kind of passing that discount on for them. So it will address all of those very quickly, and it will make a difference. I mean, you've seen it. I know I've seen it. I think it's just going to keep getting better and better. So
Yeah, 100%. Let me show you guys what we're kind of talking about. I know Kyle wanted to see auto a little bit deeper. So in the auto section, just to kind of demonstrate a little bit here, this is what I was referring to, the technical issues, title tag, meta description, image, alt text, right? Interlinking, meta tag with keywords, headers. These are just the technical issues that best practices, right? And this is kind of what Lane was talking about before. I was just deal with the GMB. That's all I did. I had my recipe. I wouldn't even look at the website.
right.
Reviews, optimize the GMB, little CTR, keep it active in the background with some posts. And then Google came and kicked me right in the nuts, right? And somebody says, Alfred, you're easy to break up with, right? And then kind of like, I think that's what we met face to face with 7-figure agency with Josh. Like he says, hey, complete package, guys, right? Website, SEO, and even Harry, what happens if tomorrow Google says goodbye to GMB, right? They're never going to get rid of the website. So with this, it even helped me to elevate my results with clients, getting both of them. And that's really what you have to do nowadays. And then you get to the content part. Content's always Lane, that's Lane's biggest thing, right? With Single Genesis. Good PR, and all the best practices, NLP, entities, variations of the keyword. Like you heard Lane say that. Here we talk, we cover content, the topical map. Like, what do I write about, right? You put in your keyword and you can see kind of like what you can write about. It'll break it down in the map for you. This out of the way, in the map for you. Schema, right? How important is schema? Your GMB, and then your Google, not your Google, your cloud stacks. Guys, this is super, super easy, to deploy right in here. With all of these cloud stacks, Lance didn't even cover that, or Lane didn't even cover that. And I can't wait, Lane, till the PR stuff comes out. Shoot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to be able to basically automate. So right now, Otto is automating the on-page, the technical on-page fixes. The cloud stack is addressing off-page, and then obviously with Single Genesis Digital PR, we're going to be automating the off-page single generation, the off-page amplification components, and so you'll be able to combine both the on-page fixes and the off-page, ongoing automations. And so literally, you're going to be able to put SEO on autopilot, right? So yeah, for sure, it's it's going to be, and then there's certain things there that like with GBP posting, you can automate GBP posting, Q&A posting, the reviews. And so the questions coming up is, if the pixel's removed, does the site revert back? And the answer is yeah. That's the site reverts back to its original form prior to the page overwrites by the JavaScript pixel. And so I have language, and I always have, even with Single Genesis, because we have our media room technology. Hey, these things cost money to run. That's why it costs money to. And by the way, if there's AI out there that's not costing anything monthly, you need to doubt what it's even doing, because it's going to take resources to maintain. This is dynamic SEO. This isn't just like, hey, do it once and then it's all fixed and then forget about it. Like it costs money to maintain these things. It costs money to maintain the pixel there and rewrite things as there are changes. And so, there's going to be ongoing costs there. And so you need to just pass that language right on through your terms and conditions, which I've shared several times now on the Search Atlas webinars is, hey, we have third party. It's just like web hosting. Like if you don't pay your web hosting bill, your website goes down. It might be $5 or $10 a month, but if you don't pay the freaking bill, the website comes down, and everyone in the world knows it, that you didn't pay your $5 bill, right? If you don't pay your SEO company for the SEO services, then all of the third-party technologies and subscriptions that they have on your behalf get canceled. And that includes website technology that they've deployed on your behalf. And so this is actually a really good client retention strategy, with the pixel being there and being in charge of the rewrites. And so if the campaign is canceled inside Search Atlas, you get locked out of the website, you can't remove the pixel, it doesn't matter, it's gone. Like, and that's the same thing with Signal Genesis media rooms. We built it that way to give agencies the leverage for client retention strategy. It's not to hold people captive. It's there to literally build in client retention for you. If you explain it the way I just explained it to a prospect before they even become a client, then if they ever decide that they want to contemplate canceling on you, you can remind them of all the things that they're going to lose and or that will be canceled when they cancel on you. And that includes all of the thousands of fixes that you apply to their website over the last 1 month, 6 months, or 6 years.
Yeah, 100%. We just talked about this too. It's coming out with the reporting. And I'm 100% with Lane when it talks about, dripping out the changes to communication with them. Because how many, I have them, and I've had them in the past. How many of us have clients like, would you do this week? Or would you do this week? Or would you do this week? Now with Otto and the website, we'll be able to communicate that with them, what exactly we did. And really it's that communication, it's the touch point, it's a retention tool that really helps implement all those things. We can show them, it's black and white, and we can literally see the flow. Lane, can you get into, I know people were asking about pricing. Is Search Atlas and Otto two different price points? Is it the same price point? Is it included?
Yeah, that's a good question for sure. So you have to have access to a Search Atlas account in order to be able to purchase the Otto upgrade. So Otto is, say an upgrade. So you got to have a base subscription for an account, and you get a lot of features, obviously, that are similar to Ahrefs, SEMrush, on-page AI, kind of all baked into that. So there's value there anyway in that base subscription. But then Otto is a $99 per website per month cost to add in more websites. Certainly, if you get to volume, it starts to come down a little bit. You'd have to get to quite a bit of volume to get to the price that we offer our agency partners through Quantum Agency for Otto at $75 a month. But anyway, there's volume discounts. If you go to enterprise, if you go to an enterprise subscription, I know it does come down to like $40 a month per website per campaign, but that requires an enterprise subscription with minimum volume commitments and what have you. So, for the average agency, you just got to get a base Search Atlas account at either their starter, grow, or pro plan, and then buy hyperdrive credits, which equate to basically $99 per month per Otto SEO campaign or website.
And that really, guys, I mean, you rank and rent, guys, like, yeah, that's your property, your stuff. So, put a few in there, get them rented out, right? Hopefully you're getting enough at that price point so you can add more. If you deal with clients, bake that into your easily, and Lane, you can correct me, but especially with Josh Nelson, bare minimum to be effective, like if nothing goes right in your SEO and you're charging $1,000, that should be your bare minimum, right? To kind of deploy other things if stuff's going wrong. What is your bare minimum when you were
for pricing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I recommend $1,500 a month.
There you go.
$1,000 a month and $5,000 a month. Obviously, $1,500 a month was SEO only. $3,000 a month was like so obviously you can do a little, some more, a lot more, or a lot more in SEO. Like there's not just like one like SEO. Like I kind of laugh. Some people go, well, Lane, you charge more for SEO than other white label agencies, and I'm like, well, what do you mean? Like, I have 4 different packages, and some of those packages are less than some of the other white label agencies. But is it really apples to apples? Because I might charge 400, and the other white label agency might be charging 350. But what are we actually doing for the 400 and 350? That is where it really varies, right? And so, $1,500 a month is what I would call our entry level campaign. Maybe our mid-level campaign, like kind of, and so we're doing like 2 blog articles a month, 2 press releases a month. We're managing citations, managing the Google listing, managing Google review responses, that something like that, right? That's $1,500 a month. I wouldn't charge anything less than that for that.
And that'll cover this tool and doing the fulfillment, deploying some of the stuff that
Sure.
literally Lane just
Yeah.
talked about. Press
Right.
releases is coming. Reply to reviews is there already. Post on GMB is there already, and that should move the needle, no problem.
For sure. Yeah. And so at $3,000 a month, that would be like our mid-level SEO campaign plus PPC setup and management with managing a PPC budget. And then at $5,000 a month would be our advanced SEO campaign with PPC plus also social posting 3 times a week. And so, if you as those are retail prices, because, if you come to us as a white label partner, we do all that for about half of that cost, right? So our agencies are typically like $750 a month. They're charging $1,500. If they're charging $3,000, their costs with us are typically around $1,500 a month. So that you have that. So these are retail prices, $1,500, $3,000, $5,000. I would have 3 programs, and that's all I would sell. And that's all I did sell when I was in my generalist agency dealing with businesses. I had 3 programs. Here's your options. I would pitch obviously $5,000 a month. And then if they didn't have the budget, they really balk at that. Then we'd start to back to 3. And then if we had it, we would come down to $1,500 a month. And if that was still too much for them, we were saying goodbye, that we weren't a good fit. Because anybody below $1,500 a month is going to suck your time. There'll be the 80% of the people that ask all the questions and have all the problems and have all the issues and all the rewrites and reporting's not good enough. And your $5,000 a month clients will require less time than the $1,500 a month clients. And I know that to be a truism because I dealt with it for 9 years. So yeah, that's how I would price SEO out and or SEO plus PPC. I know people who charge $5,000 a month. You want them to do SEO? It's $5,000 a month. What's your other option? No, that's it. It's $5,000 a month for me to do your SEO. And so, actually, I have the slides from today. I can share it real quick here, but it was really good. I thought Monica and team did a really good job. Let me just share it real quick. They did a quick comparison of share my screen of what it costs to hire somebody in SEO. Tell me.
I see the browser.
Yeah. How about now? You see the search atlas?
Yep.
Okay. So right here, this is really good. So like if you want to hire, an SEO specialist, an SEO guru is going to be $500 to $1,000 an hour. That's no shit. Like, like if you want to hire me, I'm going to be $250 a year. I mean, that's what my salary is going to be. If you want to hire me as an SEO guru to come in and help your company, I'm not going to be cheap. That's 15 years of experience and, millions of dollars of R&D and expenses to learn what I know. Right. And so if you just want to get somebody in the Philippines to go do what you tell them to do, okay, you can pay that. But that's not going to be a thinking strategist with technical SEO guru or technical specialist level of knowledge and competencies. And so, yeah, I mean, that's the kind of savings and leverage you get with using a platform like Search Atlas and Otto, is that you can actually apply these technical fixes without having to, I say in a qualified way, right? Like you could do it for one or 2 clients, but if you're going to run a real agency, you're going to have white label or you're going to have somebody in-house staff that really knows what they're doing from an SEO standpoint to be spearheading your SEO strategy and making sure that, because it's not just Otto, right? There's other moving parts. I know that Monic's vision, and I share it with him, is, hey, let's automate the entire SEO process. And I believe one day we'll get there. But even then, you'll still need a strategist to kind of spearhead and run all that for an agency or for a business, depending on the application.
Yeah, 100%. Lane, as we come here to a close, I just want to I put in the chat, it is a referral link for Search Atlas, and also the white label with Quantum Agency IO with Lane. So if you kind of want to see what results it'll give you, not having to put the full investment, reach out to Lane and the team. He's more than willing to help out. If you kind of want this for your agency, you know, Lane will be happy as well that if you can sign up with Search Atlas as well with those. Again, they have a great support team. They even have a Zoom call they jump on with you, which is pretty cool. Great group of people there supporting this. And I think that's communication is huge, especially with white labeling. Yeah. Now, Lane, I asked this of all our guests, you know, as we close it up here. What is one fun fact about Lane that nobody knows?
I'm pretty much of an open book about the fun parts of my life on Facebook too. So if you follow me, you get to actually probably see that. Let's see, a fun fact about me that nobody knows. Well,
it's okay. I get the same response from everybody.
I mean, geez. I almost died in the Army on a weekend off with a buddy of mine, and we had a tequila drinking contest, and I won. He turned more shades of green than I did after drinking tequila incessantly and eating a couple of worms on top of it.
Awesome.
I mean, it's just, the first thing that comes to mind as that fun fact that maybe nobody knows. But anyway, I love the outdoors. That's a fun fact that everybody knows.
Absolutely. So guys, as we end this, please follow Lane. If you want to know more about him, you can follow him on his website.
Thanks.
Again, Quantum Agency. If you want a white label, he has a YouTube channel as well. The Marketing Center of Excellence. That is Lane. Great job on that. Love it. I'm a follower and listener on that as well. And you know, if you want to, where to go here? Lane, I know for a fact is a huge
there's that picture right there.
Hiker. Yeah. Oh, is that one?
Yeah. That was a 14,000-foot peak that I summited last November.
Yeah.
So that was a life-changing experience for me to go through that, and the temptation to quit just about every step.
So I know he's a huge hiker. So guys, let's show the support and the love. Let's go out there on all the channels and show Lane the GMB Pros love. With that being said, guys, much love, much success, and I'll catch you on the next one.
Take care, everyone. Thanks, Alfredo.
Bye.